I mean, get out there. So is it focused on a particular like name or something? Or is it like there were like just trainer, male instructor, educator, let's say I kind of trying to like trying to like yeah. I've actually gone to the call where there was a how can I do that? I think yeah.
Hi, how are you? Good, good.
A little cramped and normal.
I was thinking that.
The room was a lot.
That's what I figured. I was just telling Omos that. I was like, I'm pretty sure the other room was bigger. And then they wasn't expecting everybody to really show up by being a Friday. That's good. Good for you.
I don't. It's not
Right. Welcome, welcome.
Eventually you do learn something.
You do, or you sometimes I forget, and then it just refreshes your memory again. Like, oh, yeah.
The prayer stuff, like when it's like prayer.
Oh yeah, that's very good.
Yeah.
Thank you for joining us today. My name is Sarah Beth, and I'm one of the program coordinators here for Frontier RTP. One of my jobs is to plan events like On the Menu, so we are very excited to have you, whether you're joining us in person or online. I want a special shout out to all the in-person people who were able to be flexible with the location. We really appreciate it. Other events that we've got going on, every Thursday we have out of office. That is our version of happy hour. You get 2 free drinks on us, including beer, wine, and non-alcoholic. So it's a great way to kind of let loose, grab drinks with coworkers, meet new friends, and truly build a community. Additionally, another weekly event that we have is yoga on Tuesdays, and that happens in our atrium. It's a great way to wind down and take a nice little lunch break. So we'd love to have you at some of our other events here. Today, you're here for On the Menu with Dr. LaTonya Steele. She is the director and instructor of business administration at Durham Tech. So we're super excited to have her and her wisdom here to share with you more about why consumers buy. So help me welcome her with a giant applause.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Hello, everyone, and welcome. Thank you for taking the time, your lunch time, to spend with me today. Hopefully, you'll take something away from this presentation. If you know everything, that's fine. You can help me teach it. So this session is going to be interactive, okay? So you have notepads there and pens there. You see laptops, you have cell phones, right? So we're going to talk about why people really buy. You should already know this information, right? Why? No, you already shop. Did you buy your clothes? Did you buy your eyeglasses? Did you buy your laptop? But do you really think about why you bought those items? Probably not. You wanted them, right? Or you needed them, right? You liked them. Maybe a certain brand, you're going to stick with that brand. So we're going to go deeper today and talk about the psychological influences on consumer purchasing behavior, okay? Like why people buy what they buy. So we have some learning objectives today. So pretty much the outline will be, I'll go through some terms, some definitions, some examples. You'll share some with me as well on the psychological influences of why people buy. And then I'm going to share some information with you about Durham Tech and how we can help you learn more through the courses that we offer that are curriculum and non-credit. Is that okay? All right, let's go. So we do have learning objectives. By the end of this session, you should be able to explain how various psychological factors influence consumer behavior and decision-making. There's no quiz, so don't stress. You will gain a deeper understanding of how internal thought processes, emotions, and perceptions can shape what, how, and why people choose to buy certain products or engage with certain brands, okay? So there are other influences that make us buy what we buy. Could be cultural, could be social, could be individual. But the fourth one we're going to talk about today is psychological. We only have 50 minutes, so I can't explain all of them to you, right? So we'll stick with this one for today. So an individual's buying decisions are further influenced by psychological factors. There are going to be 3 points we're going to talk about today. Can everybody see? Okay, we're going to talk about perception, motivation, and learning. You with me? All right, so consumers use these tools to recognize their feelings, to gather and analyze information, formulate thoughts and opinions. And what do we want them to do after they do all of that? Buy. We want them to take action. We want them to purchase, but not just one time, do we? We want them to continue to purchase from us. We want them to keep coming back, right? Because why else would we be in business if we're not going to continue to sell products and make a profit, right? So the psychological influence can be affected by a person's environment because they are applied on specific occasions. So keep that in mind, okay? So with perception, people select, organize, and interpret stimuli into a meaningful and coherent picture. So what is it that we're trying to fulfill when we're purchasing something? Is it a certain smell we're looking for? So think about your 5 senses. What are your 5 senses? Your sight, right? Your smell, your taste, your hearing, and your touch. That's what we're trying to fulfill, right? So perception may not necessarily be a reality, because we all perceive things differently, don't we? Suppose you're driving in your neighborhood and you see smoke coming from your neighbor's roof. What do you perceive is happening? A fire. There's a fire. Something's on fire, right? So what do?
Knock on the door.
You're gonna knock on the door? Okay, someone else is gonna call 911 and call the fire department, right? To see what's going on. But guess what? When you knocked on that door, they said, come around to the back. And when you went around to the back, guess what they were doing? They were barbecuing. Right? So, right. So your perception was their house was on fire, but in reality, they were having a barbecue, right? So, so keep that in mind. As far as perception may not always be what it is, but you want people to perceive things in a way you want them to understand what that product and service can do for them. Okay? So we don't want them to say, well, I think it can do this or it should do that. They know that it does a certain thing for them. It provides a certain benefit for them, okay? So we have selective exposure. Selective exposure is when we are using one stimuli and ignoring others. So think about DoubleTree Hotel. What is DoubleTree Hotel known for? They're cookies. Who said that? Cookies. Okay. So which sense are we using when we think about those cookies? The sense of smell, right? I'm gonna tell you, when I found out about DoubleTree, I stayed there one time, right? And my husband and I kept going back and asking, are the cookies fresh? Was that the real reason why we were there? No, that wasn't the real reason why we were there, but it was a nice benefit to have, right? To know we can get free cookies all day throughout the day. So can anyone else give me an example of a selective exposure? Like what sense do you use to actually a visual? Okay, so what? So what do you see things on TV? Okay, let's talk about that. How many ads do you think we're seeing a day? Do you know we're exposed to 4,000 to 10,000 ads per day? Where do we see ads now? Everywhere. You have your phone, they're gonna pop on your phone, you're on social media, you're gonna, oh, yeah, so they're on our products, right? It could be on somebody's shirt, the gas station now, they're not even, just showing it to us, they're talking to us. I'm like, who said that, right? That's something, we can't get away from it, right? Even on the TV, I would record sessions just so I can speed through the commercials, right? Because we're getting numb to the commercials now. So if people are getting numb to your commercials or they're not paying attention to the billboards or the flyers that you're passing out or the ads you put in on Facebook, how are you going to get to them? How are you going to touch them? Right? So you got to be real creative with your marketing techniques to make sure that you're putting in the right cues, the right messages out there to touch your target market so that we can get them to do what? Buy over and over and over again. All right? The next one is selective distortion. Consumers changes or distorts information that conflicts with their feelings or beliefs. So what do you think we're talking about now? What's happening? What's that?
Confirmation bias.
Confirmation bias?
Yeah,
Okay.
Only retaining information that confirms your previously held beliefs.
Yes, that's it. Perfect, perfectly explained. So I am a HP computer person. My laptops are all meant HP. I don't know why. I think because my first one worked and it worked well. So I was used to that brand, the way they set things up. So I would purchase it again and again and again. But what if somebody tells me that the Dell laptop is better and it costs the same amount of money and I can get more features? What am I going to do? I'm still going to buy the HP, but I'm going to tell them, well, I heard that, Dells break down all the time. Or I heard that they don't have good customer service. I like my Geek Squad. See, did you see what I just did? I tried to make that decision that I made for that purchase work for me. Do people do that? Sure they do. Sure they do. All the time. But you might, that is really funny. But some people might say, well, the next time I buy a computer, I might buy a Dell, right? They might. But if they're, loyal to a certain brand, they're going to stick to that brand and they're going to swear down that that's the best brand. Think about iPhone versus Androids. I had an Android, but I changed over to the iPhone because most of my family had iPhones. They wanted to FaceTime. So that's why I switched over, right? But you have some people that are really strong to those brands. Selective retention. So what does retention mean? We're trying to do what? Retain information. So we're hoping that when you put out these commercials or you put out your social media pages, that people are retaining the message that you want them to hear and to know about your products and services, right? But again, we're getting bored with these commercials, okay? Now, one person can watch the commercial and remember everything about that commercial, right? But then another person could be watching that same commercial with them and can't tell you anything after 30 seconds. Not what the message they were trying to get across, not even the product that they were offering. Don't ask me because I don't remember much. My brain is always filled with stuff. Somebody will ask me, so what did they just say? I don't know. Go rewind it. I really don't remember. But that's not good, is it? If that's your business, because you want people like me to pay attention and to capture everything that we can, because you paid some good money for that commercial to be on TV, didn't you? Am I talking too fast for you? Okay, y'all keeping up online? I hope you're keeping up okay. If not, let us know. All right, very good. All right, so keep in mind that when you're building your websites, that you're not putting too much information on your websites, because that can be overload. And what I mean by that, too much information, is you got your products out there, right? Your products descriptions. Do you have a forum page out there? Do you have a chat out there? Do you have a question and answers? You have all of these nice pictures of some of the products that you're selling and people using your products. If you put too much information out there, what are people going to do? They'll read it, but they're spending more time reading and not what? Shopping. We want them to buy. We want them to spend more time spending money. So be careful how much information that you're putting on your websites. And also pay attention to your product packaging, your colors, because you want them to be eye-catching. What about the design? I think about Coca-Cola bottles. How are they designed? The bottles. Yeah, okay. And what else have they done with those labels lately? Who's been paying attention? The name. And you know what? It's so funny because I was at a Home Depot in the gardening section shopping, right? With some plants, some dirt, some pavers, some pea rocks, all sorts of things. And I was hot and I was thirsty. And what do they have at the checkout at those type of places? In the garden section, they have the sodas. Like, I'm so thirsty. And I looked in there and I saw all of the names on the bottle. But do you think they had LaTonya on the bottle? They didn't have LaTonya on a bottle. But did I want to drink from a can that said Luke? I do not. So you got to be careful too with your packaging, right? Because it made me wonder, like, what do they do if people don't buy these sodas because their names are not on it? Or if people are just buying a soda for what?
A cold Coke.
It's a cold Coke. I had a need, and my need was what? Thirst. So if I was thirsty enough, guess what? I would have been Luke all day. It would have been okay. It is not that serious. But you know what? My mind always wants to go deeper. I looked online and I found out, I know I'm crazy. I looked online and I found out that you can actually customize your bottles. You can have your name put on the bottles, but I still don't think that they would put my name on the bottle because I think my name may be too long. I might have too many letters. I didn't go that deep. I'm not, it wasn't that serious. I just wanted to know, right? So keep those things in mind. So I have an activity for you. You ready? Online, you ready? I need for you to, or one person, to identify and describe a print ad or commercial you have recently seen and or heard. Try to be as thorough as possible in describing your memory and perception of the ad. And you all could do this if you want to, just to see how much you really retained. So anybody want to share one with us today?
I'll do it.
Okay, thank you. What's your name?
I'm Ari.
Ari, thank you.
So State Farm has this Caitlin Clark ad, and it's like everything's easier from the logo.
Okay,
And they just put one of the most awkward people I've ever seen on TV and all these different logos doing things. And she steps into the logo and does it.
okay,
But it's almost like, it kind of bothers me because you got State Farm Jake, he's friendly, personable. And then
right.
you have this very, very awkward person kind of stepping into that brand. And I've actually started watching it over and over again.
Okay.
Kind of like, I'm a State Farm customer, so I'm too lazy to change it.
Okay,
It's not gonna happen. I did the paperwork once, I'm not doing it again.
all right.
But like, hey, y'all, do y'all think Caitlin Clark fits your brand? But it's like, she's in the logo, she's spelling, she's like putting something in the trash, she's like
Okay.
doing a crossword puzzle, all these things that like, she's not known for doing, but everything's
Okay.
about in the logo. So you see
Okay.
their logo over and over in the commercial,
Okay,
but it feels so far from their brand because she's so stiff when they've been so friendly and so there for you. And it's like,
okay,
I'm watching this juxtaposition of the brand they've built
okay,
and maybe not quite the right person in their logo.
okay,
But I
all
get
right.
the logo thing.
Okay, okay,
Well, and I think kind of go along with that, they teach you in business and sales, people buy from those they know, like, and trust.
that's right.
And so the
They
Jake
do.
from State Farm
Yes,
is someone that they feel like they know, even if you don't.
don't know them.
Jake, you know,
Right.
you don't know Caitlin Clark, you know.
Okay,
But, and you become to like that person because you feel like they are acting like you. And so I feel like sometimes with some of these commercials and things like that, they have to hone in on some of that.
that's
They have to be
right.
Thinking about some of that to gain some more customers, because I'm in sales and
Right.
all I think about is like, okay, I've got to get to a point where they feel like they know me.
That's
They
right.
like me and they trust me,
Mm-hmm.
enough to buy the services themselves.
That's right. Very good. So now I want you to look up that ad. Look up that ad for me. And then discuss how selective exposure, distortion, or retention played a role in your recollection of that ad. Okay?
People do like Caitlin Clark, so, or at least I think so.
Okay.
Just like
I haven't seen that commercial.
Yeah, people like her, and even if she stands out as being a juxtaposition of the brand, that
Mhm.
stands out. to you.
It does.
For State Farm,
That's right.
or looking for insurance, sometimes it is like that. It's like, okay, I just have to fill out paperwork,
Mm-hmm.
and they're not gonna be saying, oh yeah, I really liked this
'Cause-
brand's ad. It's just,
Right.
oh, I know State Farm. Like, yeah, I
Right.
saw them, yeah, I've been seeing them all my life. They stood out to me all my life, and you maybe don't remember it at the same time.
Right,
So,
that's true.
agreed.
Okay, very good.
They're going progressive because those commercials are
The-
hilarious.
They really are. And you know what? I am. I have them. So what'd you find out, Ari?
I mean, I remember it pretty good. I remember
Okay, so you
everything.
felt good about that?
But I've also like, it stood out to me. It kind of
Okay.
broke, because it broke through their brand for me in a way.
Okay, good.
And
So
I'm
they,
like, I used to work with Leo Burnett, so I watched a lot of commercials.
okay, so
Like-
mission accomplished.
Yeah, but it's
Very
I mean,
good.
it's just like, it stood out so much because it was just, it was read so awkward to me. Like, she's not wearing their color. The
Right.
people around her are wearing the brand color, which I
Okay,
noticed.
okay.
It's like, just
Very good.
interesting.
All right, thank you for sharing. So what should marketers do? Marketers must recognize the importance of cues or signals in consumers' perceptions of their products. Marketers must identify the important attributes that the targeted consumers want in a product or service. They must watch their brand identity to maintain strong connections between perceived brand value and customer loyalty. And they must take care when changing such stimuli as a product's price, package size, or product position or brand. So does anyone have any thing they can share about how there was a product that was, the product design was a certain way, and when they changed it, they kind of didn't like it? I don't think I have an example for that to actually share. All right, we'll move on.
Happens a lot with food.
Food?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good point. Okay.
They have hardly any frosting on them. They're thinner than they used to be.
Very good. They don't taste, they taste like cardboard.
Yeah, they don't have as much icing. They don't have as much filling. in them.
Yeah, so why? But why did they do that? Why did they do that? And also it's supposed to be maybe something healthier, maybe they're trying to make us think that it's healthier, right? And the kids don't know how they used to taste, do they? No, we know how they used to taste. The same thing with cereal. They've changed so many cereal brands that they don't taste the same to me, but my grandkids don't know. You said something about pizza?
Yes.
What do
They
you
just
think?
Adding all this stuff, like, fresh beaver on the pizza now.
Ah,
and-
I hope not. But somebody's gonna buy it and somebody's gonna like it because it's different. I still can't eat pineapples on my pizza, so please don't put beaver on it. Yes.
That's food related too. The $2 Santitas tortilla chips.
Okay.
If you look at how they have the $2,
Mm-hmm.
that's what we're trained to see it as, right?
Right.
It's like $2.19.
Oh.
$2.49.
Oh.
And I go like, man, they made the two just so that they could raise the price.
Without people really noticing. That's really funny.
So does that?
It does, and I'm glad you said that because I did have an example of my mom and the dollar store.
Dollar course.
Oh my goodness. She will not go to the dollar store now because it's $1.25. I kid you not. I was like, Mom, it's not that much of a difference, but you know what? To her, it is. But to me, I'm like, it's just, I'm thinking it's just a quarter, but to her and her products, it adds up, doesn't it? She does not go there anymore because of that. That was a good one. Very good.
Stay moisture.
What happened to them?
Well, so basically it was a product line, a lot of Black women with natural hair used. Natural ingredients work really great with 4C hair types. It got bought by a larger brand and they changed
Oh,
the
why would they do that?
You know why they did
I know
that.
why they did that. Funny. So let's look at motivation. I love this topic right here. Motivation, these our needs become motives when they are aroused sufficiently. Motive is a driving force that causes a person to take action to satisfy those specific needs, okay? So we're going to get into talking about Abraham Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Has anyone heard of that before? Probably in every class that you've taken. that triangle, that pyramid is actually in that class one way or another because of our motives and our needs. Marketers can analyze the major forces influencing consumers to buy or not to buy their products and services. So we want to make sure that our products fit into one of these categories, which I'm sure they would. Physiological, safety, social esteem, and self-actualization. So you may always notice that those hierarchy of needs are put in a pyramid or a triangle. What's the significance of a triangle? Top to bottom? What happens from top to bottom? It's small at the top and it gets larger at the bottom. So what does that signify? The bottom, is it the most important? In this predicament it is. The bottom is the most important, but also the larger it gets, meaning that more people fit into that category. Okay, and so as you go higher up the pyramid, then fewer and fewer people are in those different categories. So keep that in mind, okay? So we have to make sure that our products fit into one of those categories. So let's look at the physiological needs. So we're talking about hunger, right? We have to satisfy our hunger need, shelter, right? And food and water. So what products fit into that category? Yeah, what kind? What kind? We're marketers now. We got to be specific. You know what? I want a hamburger for lunch. I didn't get what y'all got for lunch today. I want a hamburger when I leave from here, right? Oh my goodness. But do I want it from Burger King? Do I want it from McDonald's? Do I want it from Cookout? Do I want it from Red Robin? Do I want it from Applebee's? Do I want it from Texas Roadhouse? Do I want it from the grocery store? Do I want to call DoorDash? Do I want to pick it up? Marketers need to help me figure out what's the best way to go, right? But what would determine which way I go for that burger? Convenience, price, what else? How about how it's prepared? What about the taste? Right?
Experience.
Past experiences. Very good. I'm gonna tell you about a past experience that when I went to an IHOP. I went there and got some pancakes, ate half of my pancakes and got to the middle of them, and guess what? It was raw. Call a waitress over and say, my pancakes aren't cooked. And she goes, well, what do you want me to do about it? My husband looked at me. I went, I said, okay, she's testing me today. I said, I would like for you to take it back and bring me some pancakes that are cooked, please. Oh, no, I didn't. I said, since you can't figure it out, can you have your manager come talk to me? That's actually what I told her. So the manager came out and I said, my pancakes are not cooked and I would like some more pancakes. He said, okay, but that was such a bad experience for me that day. I don't know whether I was, in my feelings about something or really sensitive that day. But every time someone says, let's go to I'm not going to IHOP. No, I refuse to go there after that. And that was many years ago, and I'm still mad. Yeah, so like her with that dollar store. Yeah, so past experience can also shape that. The next level that people need to fulfill is the safety needs. So we're talking about security. We're talking about people feeling safe. What fits into that category?
Security network.
Home security network, a car, yeah, SUVs or Volkswagens. What else? What's that? I'm sorry? A safer home? I'm sorry?
Locking system.
Oh, locking systems, yes. And now you can do it all with your phone. There's so much going on now, I can't keep up with it all, right? Very good. So think about the aging population. So how can marketers say, how their product can fit into safety needs for the aging population? Our baby boomers are taking over. So what can we provide for them?
The fall alert on your phone that
very
you can
good.
go to your kid.
Oh, very good. Very helpful. Okay, so that's what we're talking about as far as what we can do in that category. What about a smoke detector? What about a gun? It all depends on what the individual and what they feel like their needs are during that time. Okay. The next one are social needs. So we're talking about belongingness and love. Talking about relationships. We're talking about friendships. So what products fall into that category? What's that?
Hinge. Yeah. Hinge, like the dating
What's
app.
that? Oh, okay. I was like, I never heard of that. Oh, that's a dating app. Okay. Okay. I've been married 36 years, so I've been out of the game for a long, long time. I don't know any other, and I better not know any other dating apps, right? That's probably why I stayed married so long, right? Clothes, cosmetics, vacation packages. Those are things that bring love. I'm gonna tell you, my business, my small business is Learning with Harmony LLC, and we sell Build-A-Pets. And we sell them at vending events, online, Etsy, and so forth, right? So I was at one vending event, and this lady came up to me, and she's like, can I give you a hug? I was like, okay, sure. And she said, what you're doing and providing is such a blessing for people and for us today. I was like, I didn't really know it was that serious. Her son was building a dog. And they have to stuff it by hand. So we don't have the big machine with the stuffing in it floating around where they, just fill it up. They actually have to stuff it by hand on site. And she says, our dog just died. And my son doesn't know yet. So him building this pet and this dog, putting the heart in it, filling out the birth certificate and making a t-shirt, oh, don't cry, and making a t-shirt for him is really going to help us talk to him about this transition a whole lot easier. So thank you. Who would have known? But I know from a social point, it brings families together because I love to take pictures of the families building the pets and the dads, getting, stuff in them. It's so funny seeing the dads do it though. And so, but to see it from a different light, you know what I mean? And then recently, a little girl came back with a panda bear, the panda bear that she had bought from me some years ago. torn to pieces. That's it. She carries that thing around everywhere. And I'm so glad you guys are here today so that she can build another one. I was like, this is deeper than what I thought. Okay, so you see how that works for social needs? And they said that she carries that bear with her everywhere that she goes. So yeah. The next one is esteem needs. So what happens with esteem needs? We're talking about prestige. We're talking about fame. We're talking about people want to be seen. They want to be recognized. What are some products?
Followers on Instagram.
Okay, but what's the product?
People sell those now.
They sell what?
You can buy followers.
Buy followers. Okay. Wow.
That's
All
what-
right.
that's
So
what-
that works. That works. Perfect. Okay. What else?
Nobody thought Ice Spice was cool.
What's that? Beauty supplies, like a name brand beauty supply, right? For the esteem. What are some name brand beauty supplies that you think? My daughter bought me some Coach and she was like, are you using it? I was like, of course I am. Never been really a name brand, perfume or purse or shoe type person. I'm, into, price, comfort, looks, but not the, extra, for the designer touch. But for her, it means a lot. And so, yes, I use her perfume that she gave me. A Porsche, right?
I'm just say like, athletic equipment,
Yes, yes. Okay.
drinks. sports
Drinks, that's right. Okay. Anything else you can think of?
And stuff like online certifications and.
Ah,
things that
very
matter.
good. That's good. Very good. Memberships. Okay. Club memberships. I like it. All right. So now let's go to the top one. But as you notice, it's getting smaller and smaller, right? And then also marketers have to keep in mind too that you may be up here, then something may happen where you go back down to here. Okay. I might be at a point where I can buy some esteem items, right? But then my husband becomes disabled and unable to work, and even though he's retired, but if he was still working and he couldn't work, then what would happen?
Yeah, especially their income change.
It does. And so what I'm buying is going to be different, right? So I'm going to fall down that pyramid. So keep that in mind, that happens to people too. But at the self-actualization, that's the ultimate. So what are people buying there? That's the ultimate. So you're talking about achieving one's full potential, including creative activities. And it's going to be different for all of us. Each one of those levels, what may be the same for me for the social needs may not be the same for you. So keep that in mind too. Different people see these things differently. Self-actualization for me was when I got my 2-year degree from Durham Tech. I was like, wow, I finally did it. But then I didn't stop. I don't know what was wrong with me, but it's okay. I got addicted, but it's okay. What about those American Express ads? The Amex cards. What about those black cards? What about those $5,000 fee cards? And the initiation fee that carries an annual fee of $2,500. That's deep, isn't it? Any questions so far about anything or comments?
For example,
Go ahead.
FanDuel,
FanDuel.
the sports gambling app.
Oh, okay.
They really do seem to be pitching like emotional euphoria. And
Okay.
success. I
Okay.
don't know if that's a.
So which one do you think it fits?
To me, I think they're kind of saying self-actualization.
Okay. Okay.
Almost shamelessly, but.
Wow.
I don't know what you think.
See, it could be different for different people. So that's a good example of that as well. Help me with time because I can talk. Yes, go ahead.
This to me because I serve as a mindset coach for entrepreneurs, helping them turn ideas into action.
Okay.
And what it made me think about is I'm also a community gardener, so sometimes I would create content in the garden,
Nice.
and folks really love that. Being seeing me out in nature, and it hits on I think just some of these needs. While you're in the office, watching me outside with nature, it's kind of like, oh man, like how can I get back to connect and feel free like this? I think
Nice. Which one?
I didn't realize I was doing that, but
Okay.
it's helped me make that connection. So
Okay.
thank you.
Very good. Very good. Any other comments? Yes.
Especially for the consumer, understanding their concept of self-actualization, like, is really value rich.
Mm-hmm.
And so understanding like what it means for them to feel like fulfilled, do they need to be eco-conscious? Do they need dictates what you're gonna offer at every other level.
That's correct. That is correct.
And I
So-
think that sometimes, we need to be thinking about these things, not just as a, like a consumer,
Right.
but more so like, you know, what psychological needs do you need in your life?
Personal.
period,
That's
not,
correct.
You know.
That is
need-
correct.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You know,
that's right.
I mean, those psychological needs being met. at
Sure.
least.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, food, water, warmth
Mhm.
is important, but that mental health aspect that comes into every level, I think is really important, but also, you know, self-actualization, esteem needs, those relate to not just consumer goods, but very much like in your career.
Mhm.
How you're going through your
Mhm.
career.
That is so
like,
true.
function,
That is so
or,
true.
You know, you get. accolades
That's
for-
esteem needs
yeah,
right there,
you know,
right?
all that stuff to be thought of as
Yes.
marketing.
That's true.
Does every need have to fit into one? Because you think about somewhere like a restaurant that maybe
Okay.
is a little bit higher end. For someone that could be a physiological need.
Right.
But for maybe another person, it's a belongingness and love need because you go there on a date.
That could
And it's
be.
like, oh, I could have eaten the food I had at home. So I was going to the food I was going, so I was on a date or.
That's true. Yes, it
And
depends
you
on the
know how you're
person.
marketing it,
Mhm.
Because you could market a place like Olive Garden as a, oh, I just need to eat, or you could
Right.
market it as a, oh, it's Valentine's Day, it's where you take your special.
That's right. That's right. So which one would give you the most money?
Yeah. I don't know, like, in terms of campaign.
Right, that's correct. Yeah, that's true. Very good. Okay. Does anyone have their own business here? Can tell me how their company fits?
So I do AI training for teachers,
Mhm.
and one of the benefits that like recent research is saying is that using AI can save teachers almost
Ah.
6 hours a week in
Wow.
time.
Mhm.
And so even just a physiological need, like
Ah.
really burnt out, you never
Good
have
point.
time. So
Mhm.
if you can teach teachers to use technology, you can help them meet that base level need. But
Right.
then I think there's areas that could fall into all the other ones as well, but you could catch them right at the beginning.
Right. Very good. That's right. That sleep, that rest, that work, life balance is so important. Very good. So now we're talking about the learning stage. This creates changes in behavior, immediate or expected through experience and practice. Okay. So you see an advertisement for some medicine, some cold medicine, because you hadn't been feeling well. And they tell you that it's going to help you sleep during the day, help you be alert. I mean, sleep at night, be alert during the day, still have you some energy, and you're going to get well quick. What are you going to go do? Based on that commercial, what are you going to do? I hope you're going to go buy it and try it out, right? Okay, so that's what we're talking about with learning. Did someone learn something new about a product or service and then they went out and purchased it just because of that? Did the ad teach you something that you didn't know and now you think that that's going to be useful or helpful to you? Anybody? No? Okay. Well, let's move on to the next example. The next one is experiential learning, and experience changes your behavior. Guess what? I bought that medicine. Guess what? It kept me up all night and I slept all day and I had no energy. So what's going to happen? I'm not going to purchase that medicine anymore, right? And what else do we do when we get something and we don't like it? What do we do?
Tell people.
We tell people. So what do we call that? What's the marketing term for that? That word of mouth. Do you know what? That word of mouth is free promotion and it can make you or break you. Can it? Right? So that's when we get into the conceptual learning. Okay? This is based on reasoning not acquired through direct experience. So whose experience are we referring to now? Someone else's experience. Someone else is telling us something, right? So let's say you're standing near a drink machine and you notice a new diet flavor with artificial sweetener. Been told I had to lose about 20 pounds. So I'm gonna start out with doing some diet sodas right now. But a friend told me that diet beverages leave an aftertaste in my mouth, in their mouth, and it will leave an aftertaste in mine. So what will I do? I probably wouldn't buy it. Probably wouldn't buy it. Get a Coke. Get a Coke. I probably would get some lemonade, unsweetened lemonade, or some unsweet tea or something, right? I'm saying that, but I'd probably get a Coke. I'm being honest. I get a Coke. So you have learned that you wouldn't like this new drink, diet drink, before you even tried it. You hadn't even tried it, right? So do people go on other people's experience? Yeah, they do. Okay.
Feels all the time.
Yeah, yeah, yep. So keep that in mind. That happens too. So you want to make sure that people aren't saying bad things about your products or service. So the learning theories is helpful in reminding marketers that concrete and timely strategies reinforce desired consumer behavior. Okay. So what's that desired behavior we want to see again? We want them to do what? Buy, come back again, again, and again, okay? And back to my business again, I was in an event in Roxborough. They have an event, fall event in October, and one little boy says to me, he's like, ah! He said, hi, I'm so glad you're here. I was hoping that you'd come back. And the mom says, do you know I sell sand art also, sand art. Do you know he has about 5 of those containers already? I was like, well, I'm glad he still wants to come and do some of the others. He has 7 more he can choose from, right? So that's what we want them to do, to continue to come back, to look for us, to maybe go online and maybe have us come to a birthday party for them, a celebration for them. So that's what you want. Any questions so far? Y'all not getting sleepy with this heavy lunch or anything, are you? Those online, I know you're eating lunch also. Y'all still with me?
So what do you do when you have a product that you sell it once and it's done?
You have to do maybe put out a survey and find out, why people aren't buying it, or to those who did buy it, why are they not coming back maybe?
But if the results have resolved the problem, they don't. And then
So-
you don't need the service anymore.
Well, it depends on what you're selling then. Because I've had people tell me, the kids will say, I want to go make such and such. And the parents be like, you did that last year. I was like, well, have a good day. So it just depends. It depends. And again, go back to the Maslow's hierarchy. What are we looking for? The need, find a new need for it. That restaurant now is not just a high-end restaurant. It's a restaurant now that we're having people come for Valentine's Day. We're having them come back for their anniversary. Give them a new theme. Give them a new advertisement. Do a different approach to attract different people. Okay? Because you really don't want to be a one and done. Unless you have so many customers, it's okay that you can do that, right? Is that possible? Yeah, it's possible. And also you got to make sure too, your company name doesn't create marketing myopia too. And when I think about that, I think about Just Tires. So what do you think about with Just Tires? What are they selling? Are they selling Just Tires? They're not. What else are they selling?
Wiper blades, brake pads, rims.
Yeah, all of that. All of
Sorry,
that.
I was
That's
scared.
okay. That's
I
good.
remember
That's perfect. That's perfect. But see, if people hear tires, they might think all they do is sell tires. They go there and get some tires, and it could be a one and done. So they didn't do a good job in advertising everything else that they offer to these customers. Let's go back to pizza. Let's go back to pizza. Domino's Pizza is not Domino's Pizza anymore, is it? It's just Domino's now. You see what they did? They took away the pizza, and now they're selling. I mean, even though they weren't only selling pizza, but what else do they sell? Wings, pasta, salad, sandwich. Look, why do I know this? Ooh. Now you know why I need to lose 20 pounds. Right? So they changed their names. Who else changed their names? HBO? They did? Who said that? Who said HBO? Okay. Oh, who else? I was like, where did that voice come from? So who else? So those are things you have to keep in mind too. I did learning with Harmony. Harmony is my granddaughter. So what does that mean? You see what it's open-ended. We can sell anything. So when Harmony's ready to take over the business, Harmony can sell whatever she wants to, and it still fits within that brand. Okay, so keep that in mind too. Make sure that you're not making people think you only sell one thing. So they come back to my booth, they might see me selling, what are those things called? Those jars. They're jars that they can put kinetic sand in. They can put little creature sensory jars. We've sold those before. Okay, and the reason why I sell the different items is because I don't want people to say you've done that before. Okay, when you think about perception and you think about your 5 senses and you're working a vending event, what's that a vending event? When you go to a festival, what's there? Everything is there, right? They have bands, They have food trucks. You can dance. I've gone to some that had over 300 vendors selling at one time, and I pay to be there, right? So what can I do to make people come to me, right? Because the first thing they're going to want to do with those dollars is what? When you go to a fair festival, what are you going to do? You know they're going to do. They're going to eat. And the first thing people will say to me is, let us eat first and we'll come back. I was like, oh, I don't know if they're going to come back. But I entice them with sight because I have the tent. I have signs there, a big sign, a pull-out sign, okay? I have signs hanging from my tent. I have pictures of the products that we sell. I have colorful sand, so the kids be like, oh, what is that? And they want to touch the sand. They want to play in the sand. We have some animals that are already stuffed and wearing cute little t-shirts that my grandbabies decorated. What does that do? It makes the kids say, oh, they got animals here. So they want to, build a stuffed animal. But guess what I found out? I have adults who want to buy them that were already purchased. Did I think of that? No, we're build a pet, not buy a pet already built. But you know what? Yes, you can buy this pig with this t-shirt on it. You see, you got to keep thinking. You got to keep being creative. Also, I use my grandbabies, 3, 5, and 8. They're holding signs with their pictures on it too. If nobody can resist a cute little girl, come on, right? And guess what? Harmony's been selling with me since she was 3. Harmony's 8. Harmony will come out with that sign and go up to a kid and be like, do you like dinosaurs? And the little boys were like, yeah. I'm like, get them, baby, get them. And so the mom will come in and say, well, what do you have going on in here? So Harmony's like, we have sand art and we have Build-A-Pet and we have children's books. And so the mom would say, well, what do you want to do? And then Harmony would say, they can do everything. I turned my back because the mom was looking at me sideways now. I turned around. I was like, that's her. You see what's happening there? Okay, so we let them touch. We let them see, right? We don't have anything they can really smell. But also, you know what else we do on hot days? We bring a big old fan. And guess what I tell people? Free air. Free air. Come and get you some free air. Well, come on and get some of this air while your children are building things. You see what's going on? And then they ask, well, how much? I say the sand art is only $5. What did I do there? Only $5. And guess what they'll tell me? I don't have any cash. I accept Cash App, Venmo, credit card, debit card, all of that. Okay, you see what's happening there? You gotta try to keep them. Once you get them there, you gotta find a way to keep them. Okay. How am I doing with time? All right. Let me go back. We went through all of those, right? Okay. So, reinforcement can be positive or negative, but you have to make sure that it's positive with reinforcement, and also think about repetition. Okay, you can't just try something one time and think that that's going to be enough, or think that it failed and give up. You got to keep going. Okay, so keep going, trying something different. So reinforcement can be positive or negative. It will motivate a person to repeat a behavior pattern or avoid it. Marketers use repetitious advertising so that their consumers will learn that their unique advantage is over the competition. Competition is good because competition keeps you what? On your toes. Competition is going to always be there. So you're going to have to always make yourself stand out over the competition. If there's 300 vendors out there, I got to make my product stand out. And I'm looking across and seeing some cute little dogs barking. I was like, why did they sign up for this event? I'm seeing bubbles flying. I was like, oh, they weren't here last year. But does that stop me from going back? No, I'm like, okay, I'm putting my babies out there. Harmony's learning how to twirl a sign now. I kid you not. She thought of that herself. I was like, what are you doing, Harvey? Okay, stay out there, baby. Stay out there. You got to be creative, okay? A related learning concept is useful to marketing managers because of stimulus generalization. All right, this occurs when marketers use well-known brand names or family products because it gives consumers familiarity with and knowledge about each product within the family. So what family products or families are you guys familiar with? I'll give you one, Clorox. They don't only sell bleach. What else do they sell? Wipes. What else? What's that? What else? The sprays. Pine Sol's under Clorox. Did you know that? Pine Sol. What's that? Burt's Bees. I did. I read that. I didn't know that before. You're exactly right. Tilex. Greenworks cleaning products. So once you have bought one product from them and you like that brand, they're hoping you do what? Buy the other products as well because of that brand loyalty, and you know that they're a good product, okay? So you can keep that in mind too. Any others you can think of? What about Dove? But Dove did something one time with their ads that kind of was negative. Who knows what they did that time? Y'all know what they did?
Something about lightning.
When the person was changing, it started out as a Black person and they would change them into different people, and then the last person was ultimately a Caucasian person. So the African Americans were looking at that, what I was dirty before. I was dirty, so now that I use Dove, I'm white now. So people did not like that. People did not like that, so they had to pull that and start over again. But are people still buying Dove? Yeah, of course. So, they had to, re-image themselves to make sure that people saw them in a positive light. All right. So some takeaways: perception, motivation, and learning were the three main points we talked about today, right? Perception: marketers need to recognize the importance of cues or signals in consumers' perception of products. Motivation: marketers can analyze the major forces influencing consumers to buy or not to buy their products or services. And that was based on what? Who do we look at? Abraham Maslow's needs hierarchy, right? What were the 5? What were they? Physiological, safety, social, esteem, and the last one, Ari, self-actualization, okay? And learning reminds marketers that concrete and timely strategies are what reinforce desired consumer behavior. They can learn it themselves, they can test it, after watching it, and then they also want to maybe listen to what others are saying about their products and services. So you want to make sure that it's something positive that they're saying so that they can then get a new customer, right? Any questions about what we talked about so far, or comments? Okay, so I just want to share with you a little bit of what Durham Tech offers. Again, I am the director and instructor of the business administration program. And we not only have business administration classes, but we also have entrepreneurship classes as well. We offer associate degrees, a 2-year degree. We also offer certificates. We offer certificates because when you think about it from a marketing standpoint, if people don't want to go to school for a whole 2 years or 4 years part-time, we sell them the certificates because they can get finished sooner, right? And guess what? They can still walk across the stage with that certificate as well. And it gives us completion numbers too. So if you wanted to take a few classes and skip the maths and the sciences and those classes, you can take sign up for a certificate, and you can take marketing, entrepreneurship, business core, human resource management, and business management. Those are about 15 credit hours, about 5 classes, take some in the fall and some in the spring. Any questions online from anyone? Okay. We not only offer classes in Durham, but we also offer classes in Hillsborough, the Orange County campus as well. Not only do we have curriculum courses and certificates and degrees, we also have continuing education courses. Okay, and with those that we offer business idea opportunities. So if we have people here who are thinking about starting a business, but don't really know which way to go or what to do with their ideas, that would be the class for you, 15 credit hours. And if you live in Durham and Orange County, if funds are still available, you can take the class for free and get the books for free, okay? You may have to pay in advance and then get a refund, but you know what? It's still what? Still free, right? But it's not free up front. You got to pay up front. Yes. You have a question? Oh, you're just stretching? Okay. After you take the business idea opportunities course, you can take the building your business models course. So now we're taking it deeper. We're learning how to pitch. We're learning how to put together a marketing plan. You're learning how to put together your business plan. 15 credit hours. Same thing. Guess what? It falls under the grant. Okay. And if you don't have to take one and then take the second one. You can still take the building your business models first and not take the first one at all, okay? So it's not one before the other. So they're not one's a prerequisite of the other. We have a customer service success course. That's a 96 credit hour course. And that course will lead you to a certification if you pay and take the exam. So it's a prep course. But for those of you who don't want to use it for the certification, you can use it to train your employees. You know, you can use it to train yourself. Any of these classes could help your business, okay? To teach people how to make sure that they're giving the best customer service. Sometimes companies get comfortable, don't they? And they hire people and they don't, you know, make sure that they're treating their customers right. But they're the first person that the people have contact with. And if they don't have a good experience with that first contact, what's going to happen? I don't care what you're selling. What's going to happen? People aren't going to do business with you if they get poor customer service. Okay, so keep that in mind. Essentials of Human Resource Management. So we offer a certificate in that program also. And that certificate prepares people for the SHRM, so a national certification as well. So if someone's looking to build a resume to get some certifications on there to make yourself stand out and be more marketable, then we're here to help you. So these are some of the classes that fall underneath that. So based on what we talked about today, let's say you wanted to take the marketing certificate, 15 credit hours, you would take Introduction to Business, Principles of Marketing, Selling, Personal Selling, Business Management, and then you would take Advertising and Promotion. Or you know what? You don't even have to do the certificates. You can do what? Just take one class, okay? Or 2 classes and keep going. Whatever you need, we're here for you. Just reach out and let me know, okay? Entrepreneurship, you would take Introduction to Business, Entrepreneurship 1, Principles of Marketing, Business Law, and then Entrepreneurship 2, where you actually have built your business plan before you leave that class. If you need me, contact me. Any questions? No questions? So what were your takeaways today? Yes.
I think we're all experiencing ads and this buying experience, and I think you just did a great job helping us like talk about it and tap into it.
Thank you. I appreciate
Got the
that.
energy of, we all had like our stories to
Yes.
share.
Good. What's your name?
Colin.
Colin. Thank you, Colin, for sharing that. I appreciate it. Anyone else? A takeaway from today?
Like I mentioned, it really stuck with me as far as the
Good.
consumer motivation, and now like giving me a foundation of how I can approach recruiting or, you know, securing.
Okay. Anyone else? Yes.
It shows how companies like the car companies and various other companies really manipulate us as humans without
Sure.
realizing it to buy things that really are not good for self-actualization.
That's right.
Very bad for environment and very bad for any other purposes, but yet they're putting them on the TV constantly. So
Yes.
seeing the psychology of the needs and going into the basic base level, you know, it's kind of sad.
Yeah,
Realize that.
I get it. Yeah. So you got to do your research and see what people are putting their opinions all out there. Now, before we didn't know what people thought, right? Now, before you book a hotel, you can read all kinds of bed books. No, thank you. You can keep going now, right? Very good points. So we're able to express our feelings now about products and services. So marketers really got to be creative in what they're doing to make sure they can get us or they can keep us, right? How did I do? I did good. All right. Online, no questions? No questions? Thank y'all so much for coming. I appreciate it. If you need me, you know where to find me, right? Okay. Y'all have a good day.
Feel free to hang out and ask any questions if you would like, but otherwise, thank you to coming in person or joining us online, and you can catch up for Bye.
It's good seeing you. Tell your mom and dad I say hello.
Good presenter.
Oh, thank you.